today we're going to be reading a thing.
I try very hard not to think too hard about that. I just picture just...
I already forgot what we were talking about.
That's why you immediately started like, hey, aren't we reading a story?
Yeah. Well, I think you're trying to lead us away from this horrible scene.
Yeah.
That we've been putting through.
And to the next horrible scene.
Yeah. What is the next horrible scene?
It appears...
Well, I mean, we should set the scene since we're all here, right?
Sure,
Yeah, so-
a little bit.
Well, first of all, hey everybody, welcome to Undercooked Analysis. Now, I don't know how much, depending on what happens in post, I don't know how much of the background noise you're picking up. We're recording this outside. And in
Unfortunately.
person.
We are attempting to touch grass, but the patio is not grass, so we're kind of failing at it.
Yeah, it's alright.
Oh well. It's a set in California. Grass is soon to be out.
Grass is for losers.
Forbidden.
Losers.
What is grass? We just don't know.
We can go touch sand.
We could.
We could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people always tell you that sometimes they tell you to go pound sand, but you know.
Yeah, I
Good.
just take it as, a nice advice to do. Go
Yeah.
outside for a bit.
Go
Relax.
outside. We wanted to try doing a recording outside, partly because it's nice weather right now, but it's not. It was hot today. And
Yes.
A little humid, but now it's finally cooled down. The sun's down.
It's room temperature.
Sure.
But in addition, we also are celebrating the fact that we just moved to a new place.
Yep. Abby. Oh, we have Abysmii, Papreeka, and Matt with us.
Hello.
Say yes.
Hello, I apologize, I'm sniffling.
It's okay. I've been sniffling all day too and coughing because
Allergies.
It just
Yeah,
started. My
it
allergies
just
are fine
started
until
right
like an
now.
hour ago. I don't know why.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, whatever.
Is it the is it the doubt, or is it the
Is it the nightmare that is...
no.
world.
We that
the nightmare? The nightmare that is the world is the best. answer.
that is just
For
safe
that.
for the dregs.
That's fine.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, they helped us move into our new house today, and
We are exceptionally grateful for it. Hey, Gracie. Gracie's here too. Gracie wants to go inside. Yeah, so since the interior is still full of unpacked boxes and furniture in bizarre positions as we try to kind of get things settled over the next few days, we want to take advantage of the fact that we finally have a backyard space and see if we can use it to our advantage. So here we are, twilight, I guess. Sun's already down. Well,
about.
no,
it's almost down.
close.
From our perspective, it's pretty much gone.
Exactly how many lumens right now?
I'm going to say 12
12.
0.5
lumens.
We have 12 watts of sun, guys.
left.
Great for solar power everywhere. People who understand it that aren't me. Anyway, but yeah, so we were trying to think, hey, well, since we finished the move, we have a little bit of time. We wanted to make sure we didn't leave everybody empty-handed because we already had a little bit of a gap not long ago with UCA. So in proper UCA fashion, we slapdash together a recording session after the move. So don't say we didn't give you anything.
Yeah.
You ingrates.
That's right. We gave you short story 1. Oh, what? Sorry, I just revealed what we were reading.
Well, I mean, when LLS fails, we go to short story 1. Now, we do have a nice backlog of stories from other folks, which is great, but it's short story 1. So,
Well,
I mean,
I'm going to read it.
yeah. Actually, Abysmii picked these two out.
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
so I'm very curious about.
So if they're terrible, I get to be blamed. I don't have a great track record,
But no short story 1 story is ever really terrible.
no.
They're not. They're just fascinating.
They are
Inexplicable. They are the most. It's so unique because I mean, we've had a couple of people who have tried to write a short story 1 story and fail because they
Right.
can't. Like they sound great. Like who was it that attempted a short story 1? Was it Dan?
That
or-
was Dan. I think tried it. It was Troy Wolbrandt.
Troy, that's it.
Ended up inventing the Wind to Go,
Which was-
is my new favorite thing.
Oh, it was great. It was an amazing story. But
what were the circumstances under which he wrote it? Because if it was anything other than 2:30 in the morning and he was half asleep, then you're not going to be able to produce short story.
no, it
1.
was.
It
He
was a
said-
late night
So
session,
he did that.
and
Yeah.
he tried to write it without any proofreading in like under an hour, and ended up writing something honestly pretty interesting
Right.
and fun. There's the voice again. It's hard to get that voice of short story 1 exactly the way short story 1 does it.
Yeah. No, it's
Hey.
it's bizarre.
So yeah, it's sort of a last minute thing, but we figured, hey, before everybody goes home for the day, we should at least get one of these in, and
I protested. I was dragged into this.
No, you
as
weren't.
usual.
Yeah.
Paprika said no.
Stop lying.
Why you always lying? All right, you said so. How short are these stories though?
I mean, 3 to 5 paragraphs typically.
That's true.
So this is more like a UCA sampler. This is like.
I mean, it depends on how long our discussion goes.
You
Well, I guess
know how
we'll
like
see.
you go to Baskin Robbins and you ask for a sample and then you get the sample?
or like when we
This
went.
is that right now.
When we
Yeah.
went to Frostbites and they were basically say, please take a sample from us.
Well, I
That
walked
was
in there
weird.
and they're like, "Have you been here before?" And David's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I've never been in one of these in my entire life." And like the clerk was really nice and started saying, recommending all these things, and I couldn't hear her at all because
Yeah,
of all
me
the
neither.
noise. And I was just like, "This is a
She-
good sample."
I asked for a sample, and she mumbled something behind the counter, and I said, yeah, okay. And then she mixed peanut butter in with the rest of my sample.
That's funny because I heard her doing that, and you like agreed to it. I was like, "You don't like peanut butter? What is happening?" I thought you heard her.
And it was against my will once again.
That one was. That one.
Yeah.
That was different.
Long story short, I got ice cream.
Oh,
Hello, helicopter.
a helicopter.
There he goes.
It's raw, gang. This is how raw we're keeping it. We're actually not far from a certain airport, which I will not say specifically.
But luckily it's far enough that we're not going to get
it's not a big airport.
We're not
No.
that far from Heathrow.
Heathrow.
Heathrow is kind of all roads, all air lanes go to Heathrow.
We go.
All roads
We are in between
lead to
Dubai and Heathrow.
We,
are.
we live in JFK. By JFK.
Yeah, we're actually on the roof of.
Or McCarran.
Aaron.
We're on the roof of like Terminal B at JFK. Anyhow,
That'd be so loud.
Well,
BJFK.
without further ado,
Yes. So our first story is.
I accidentally married everyone in my village.
happens.
Yeah.
This feels like a good follow-up to the
The
last
best of
story, which
us.
was about a mountain village where everybody wanted to get married to either the devil, eldritch,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
angel, eldritch abomination.
This is the short story 1 epilogue.
That
was
was
a good
fun.
one. I really like that one.
Was that another short story?
No.
No.
No, that one was.
No. This is like
That was straight from Cthulhu.
Oh,
It was
no.
from Cthulhu, as written by Ryan Olenek. And used with permission. And Cthulhu has actually sent us a few that they've gotten permission from the authors to do.
Okay.
I might take a look at more of those in the future. They're not all Lovecraftian, but that one in particular was. And I want to make sure that I made it clear that while you're really leaning into the bit, Cthulhu channeled the story through the mind of Ryan Olenek, which means Ryan gets all the credit for that one.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But this is short story 1. This is
Cthulhu.
pure
Although Cthulhu, hearing you say that, is pissed. Like, how
Look,
dare you?
Cthulhu,
What?
Cthulhu can deal, okay?
Never meet Cthulhu, David.
I don't intend to.
Never meet your eldritch gods.
No,
Never.
Again, I've stressed before. The only one I'd actually
You'll be
like
disappointed.
even be remotely inclined to meet is Hasker because he's at least got theatrics on his side.
He does.
I mean, Cthulhu's asleep for most of the day anyway, so
Exactly.
you probably don't even know we're talking shit about him right
He
now.
only wakes up at night to fight crime.
I would love to meet
He does do a
Hathor.
very good.
No, he's
Hathor?
pretty bad at it.
Dude, who doesn't want to meet Hathor? She's
Yeah.
a party animal. I love it.
So.
Hathor's
Literally a part of animal.
great. Yeah.
So what's our reading order?
You know what? I'll start us off, and maybe
Okay.
we go clockwise.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright.
I figure that's easiest since we're all actually.
And Abysmii pointed out something that there's 4 paragraphs and 5
5
people.
people.
Oh yeah, for Virgos.
That's fine.
Who doesn't want to read?
Sniffles.
I want to read.
Okay.
I want everyone
I'll
to
skip me.
suffer.
Skip me.
I'll forego reading.
Ooh, skip me, skip
Kaela can
me.
start.
I'll start then. Fine.
Okay.
David doesn't read.
I don't
Okay.
read. I don't know how. I've never known how. I've just cheated my way through almost
I
10 years
host
of
a reading.
podcasting.
I host a reading podcast, but I don't know how to read.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
sounds like a short
That's a good way
story
to learn
one.
how to read, though.
Short story 1, there's a prompt for you. I've hosted a podcast for years, and I don't know how to read.
Help.
Help.
I got an English degree, but I don't know how to read.
That's actually that seems like
Actually,
requires
well,
skill.
you know, there's that.
Actually,
there is that theory that there is a producer out there who is illiterate, but
Oh, yeah. I remember this.
because he has to have everybody read him the outline and script.
Actually, new prompt, new title for short story 1. I'm so glad I never learned how to read.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Watch over short story. The one
Or I
says,
love being illiterate, but I think that the first way I put it was more short story 1 style.
watch short story. This one says, surprise! I've already written
He
it.
probably has.
We're catching on to you and your tropes.
We still don't know. All right. I accidentally married everyone in my village. I accidentally married everyone in my village, and I know that sounds crazy, but bear with me.
We usually do.
In our village, there is a pillar with everyone's name on it, and to be married to all of them, you must pour your own blood on it.
Well,
Okay.
Pour. How much blood they take?
But and also, how do you like pour?
Enough.
Like, do you just? Is it like? Did you cut your thumb and go like pour it like
They have a blood wall, guys.
a blood pillar, if you will?
Join my blood wall, guys.
I used to play bass for Blood Wall. Actually,
Wall sounds good.
That's a sick
that.
name.
Anyway,
Yeah.
here's Blood Wall. Today is gonna be the day that I'm gonna bleed all over you.
I went to the pillar to simply observe it, and it was in some empty graveyard, and I saw every person's name written on the pillar that lived in the village. I accidentally cut myself on the pillar. How?
It was an accident.
As I wanted to touch it and didn't realize how sharp the edges were.
Ooh,
Oh my God.
shiny.
Who just goes up to a rock and cuts himself on it? I mean, come
A
on.
lot of people,
Oh.
I suppose.
I mean,
me drunk in college.
Okay, fine.
my blood had spilt on the pillar, and now by law, I was married to everyone in the village. Only adults could put their name on the pillar.
That's a lot of free sex.
Wait, I love that it ends with
That's a lot of
only
alimony.
adults.
That's a lot of legal obligation.
I do find it funny it says only adults. Like, it is so out of the blue.
Well, because that way you don't marry children. Or it's a smart legal foresight here.
Yeah, but how does divorce work in this?
Well, also, if it's a community property state, you now own 1/25 of your own belongings. And that's it.
Well, how big is this village is the
I
question.
mean, if it's a village is like, what, maybe a couple hundred people? So this is a lot.
Are we talking a provincial village?
I don't know.
Yeah.
In this poor provincial town.
I couldn't believe it, and everyone in the
Give me a
village
favor,
had
leave this
sensed
way.
my blood on the pillar being spilled, and now I was every woman's and man's husband that lived in the village. They all became demanding of me and told me that I needed to do this and that, now that I was their husband. I couldn't believe I was married to everyone in the village, and I
Husband.
wanted a way out, but there was no way out because once you spill your blood on the pillar, you are married to everyone who is living in the village.
It seems like a really weird Resident Evil game.
Yeah. I would
play
watch
it.
this and be like, it's about Ethan again, but he's just married to everyone. Like, everything he does is just,
Oh, no.
my wife's constantly yelling at me. My husband needs me to do this.
You know how you were talking about like, oh, in the last game it's him trying to find his wife, and then now this game it's him trying to find his wife and kid.
Yeah.
It's him trying to find all his spouses.
Now he goes back to the village in 8, but just like is married to everybody. And they're like, you saved our village. Now you must marry us.
The game is just the most violent divorce in history.
You've saved us all. Now marry my daughter. And me.
And me.
And my wife.
And my husband.
And my cousin.
Majority were demanding money from me now that I was married to the village, and some wanted my labor, and I wasn't doing any of that. They were all growing hateful towards me as I was being a bad husband to the whole village. I mean, it's kind of a dick move. He was by accident, whatever though.
It's like a shotgun wedding, but
Oh, hold
more
on now.
cosmic.
By the law, they are allowed to kill me, so literally shotgun, if the whole village found me to be a bad husband to them. Then I had a plan, and I purposely started to favor one man and one woman in the village by doing labor for them in the village. Village. Then secretly, they were secretly murdered by people in the village.
Wait, what? How that
Secretly
get
murdered?
what?
How did you know if it was a secret?
Then
Yeah.
I purposely picked to favor another man and woman in the village by doing labor for them. Then they were also murdered by my other jealous husbands and wives in the village.
I like how we have to specify it's in the village
Well,
every time.
I kind of wonder like what kind of labor he was doing, because this could be just like moving
Oh my God.
furniture or like farming.
Dude, this whole village managed to trick the one contractor into, like...
Doing free work?
So, like, he would have to help everyone, like, remodel their houses.
They actually like sharpened the pillar to like. Hey, you should check out our pillar. It's awesome.
Made of obsidian.
No wonder he cut himself on it.
And every house he works on, like, just turns from a little shanty into a proper one-story home. You know?
Guys, we did it. He's fixing
He's just the best
everything.
carpenter. Like,
The infrastructure on our village is improving.
Thank God, the property values finally went up.
it's gonna create a housing bubble, though.
Oh no.
Yeah.
The housing bubble is everyone who owns the houses gets murdered.
Secretly.
The demand for houses goes down because everybody who moves into a
Everyone's
house
dead.
in this village gets murdered.
Yeah.
Did you finish it?
No. Oh, paragraph's done. So it's your turn.
I had found my ultimate plan now, to secretly use and wipe out the whole village by using the village I am married to against themselves. By favoring a small group of people at a certain time, they will get murdered by the rest of the jealous ones. I then found another pillar in some forest, and if you were to pour blood onto that pillar, you would be married to everyone in the whole wide world, even the animals.
What?
What?
There are
There's the
already
twist.
billions of names on the pillar. I am staying clear from that pillar.
I didn't.
Smart move.
Okay, I didn't see that coming.
This-
He just raised the stakes at the very, very end.
just, don't go near that pillar.
I was like,
How
oh,
big is this pillar?
In some forest, it could be anywhere.
Well, yeah, and I have questions about how everyone
forests.
knows about this pillar.
Also-
Is it a very
Pours blood
tall
on
pillar, or is it like a pillar that runs deep underground?
Is it like
It
a
has billions of names on
skyscraper?
it. Yeah.
Also, how does the billions of names work?
You know what? You
is
know
it
what?
like Mike Thompson, Mike Thompson, Mike Thompson, Mike?
Aruba.
Yeah.
He found,
Aruba.
you know what he did? He found the server, and everyone's name is in the server.
Oh God.
Oh, no.
So maybe it's the pillar is a metaphor. It's a server in the middle of a forest.
Oh my
And
god.
the forest is a computer program.
Well, I was about to say like it's like in a Russian forest because some Russian
Oh.
hacker. That's all.
Well, that was actually what a God. This is what can I say? It's short story one.
It's pretty good advice, actually. If you find yourself kind of like being overwhelmed by the majority, just pit them against each other slowly and then take your exit.
Yep.
Sounds
Also,
like a
don't-
current political system.
Also, how do you, like? I love the fact you knew it's like, oh yeah, they're just gonna get jealous of each other and murder each other.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna, you'd
This
think
is
by a certain
Marriage,
point.
am I right?
This is why. This is why you should never use ritual magic to force polyamory.
Yeah,
You can't force these things.
Exactly.
You can't.
Well, except with ritual magic. In this case, now he was ritually bound as to be a husband/wife to everyone in the village. I should say they, because we still don't know the protagonist.
We don't.
I'm pretty sure it's a he.
Oh, the protagonist is in
Oh, yeah,
his
'cause he said
male
husband.
Oh yeah,
He's everyone.
he's everyone's husband. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now he's everyone's husband, but he didn't want to be. But again, ritual instead of legally binding, it's like arcane and blood bound, bloodborne. Anyhow, no, wait,
Bloodborne.
never mind.
Are we moving on to story number 2?
Yeah.
Now let's move on to story 2. So the second story is how to uncook something.
Also by short story 1.
How to?
Absolutely.
Now my brain is like uncook something because I'm like going through in my head.
Undercook something.
Oh.
Oh.
Break out.
Oh, is
steam.
this like a direct reference? Maybe.
I mean, I
I
wonder.
wouldn't put it past them.
Oh no!
All right, let me. I guess I'll start this one. Huh?
How many
One,
paragraphs
two,
are there?
It's 5.
Five.
Hey, we can actually get through this whole thing.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think so. Okay.
There's 5 of us.
David, you start.
Okay. This is how to uncook something, and the first thing to do when you need to uncook something is not to eat it, or otherwise it will just turn out even more disastrous. Like this human I have just cooked now. I'm going to uncook it, and it is a skill that I have mastered over the years. The first thing I'm going to do is dress the cooked human, because when he becomes uncooked, he doesn't want to find himself naked. Now, this is a large human that I am uncooking, and I have asked for help from Hajoka, but his form of help is odd.
What's a Hajoka?
So there is a trope that short story 1 has where people that are actually named in these stories have just they might like be normal, common names somewhere, but from a Western perspective, they sound completely made up.
Yeah.
Which is genius, because then it's never like it's just like I saw the name in another title. It was Laren as opposed to Karen. Like
Yeah.
it's just making up names, and it's just
Okay.
funny as hell.
All right. When I asked for help from Hajoka, to help me uncook this human, he enthusiastically said yes. Then he started to rip the wallpaper down, and I do not know how this is going to help me uncook this human. So the next thing to do is to put the cooked human in a position like sitting down or in a stretching yoga type position to loosen up the joints steadily when he becomes uncooked.
Wait, how do you? First of all, how do we know
Uncooks a
what
metaphor.
makes a human cooked versus?
This is a dead person they're trying to bring back to life,
Yeah, this has to be a metaphor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think.
Now the person doing the uncooking also has to be prepared for maybe action from the uncooked animal or person, as the surprise of being uncooked can be harrowing.
So be prepared, like have your oven mitts and whatever, because when they
Tranquilizers.
uncook, you're going to be ready to jump out and bite your
Just
face
gonna
off.
point out I like Hajoka's name because he'd be like a Hajoka. Hajoka. And
Hajoka.
when I asked Hajoka to help me lift this cooked human, he happily said that he will help me, and he started dismantling the shed. I asked him again to help me pick up this cooked human, but his reply was, I am helping you pick up that cooked human by dismantling the shed. I knew that I was on my own. Also, this human is still attached as one, and it is advised to always uncook attached animals or humans. Could you imagine unattached limbs becoming uncooked and they just start bouncing everywhere? Ugh, it's just always a pain in the ass.
You're gonna get crawling claws everywhere.
Oh God.
I also put cream and skin lotion and shampoo on the cooked human, so when he becomes uncooked, he will have good skin and less itchiness.
Puts lotion on the skin. Oh, what's that?
Oh no. Wait a minute.
Oh, dear.
Wait a minute. I have also attached an oxygen mask to the cooked human, so when he becomes uncooked, the fast-pumping fresh oxygen goes straight to his heart. Hajoka is now helping me uncook this human by making a tent up. As I now put the cooked human into the large uncooking oven, I simply watch.
The uncooking oven?
What's an uncooking? Oh my God.
Don't ask.
Yeah.
Then, as I watched the cooked human becoming uncooked, I then realized that he was some psychotic criminal and that he started banging on the uncooking oven doors. He looked like he wanted to hurt me.
You should choose your human ingredients.
You really gotta
uncook
research
better.
these things.
That's the thing. I feel like the characters in short story one stories never prepare for anything properly. They're always blindsided by something
They
that they could have
approach-
easily looked at
Yeah.
from the beginning.
They approach life with such reckless abandon that they just kind of don't pay attention to their surroundings.
Impulse control is not a strong suit
No.
with these protagonists. Let's just say,
Yeah.
yeah.
He became more uncooked and more psychotic, and then Hajoka opens the uncooked oven doors and started stabbing him with a weapon he made from dismantling the shed. Little chickens started coming out of Hajoka's mouth as the uncooking oven was uncooking the chicken he had eaten before. He then wrapped the now uncooked dead psychotic criminal in wallpaper and put him in the tent for now. I've decided where to bury him. That went.
Okay, I
What
take
the?
it back.
Oh my God!
This just went like to levels of like Twin Peaks.
That-
This is like perfect for a children's book. The length, the content, the like Dr. Seussian mentality.
Yes.
I'm just imagining the guy vomiting chickens because he's like, oh, don't worry, short story one, I'll take care of it. And he starts stabbing at the
like the whole thing just went.
Hajoka knows what's up. Hajoka knows to
Knows
make
to
a
make a
weapon
weapon.
because he knows what happens when you uncook people.
Yeah.
And
Hajoka
Hajoka ate
do
some
know to make
chickens,
a
so we
weapon.
know he likes chickens.
We do.
He uncooked and
Learning
then
much about Hajoka.
dismantled a shed to get a weapon.
That's interesting.
I guess
Improvised
he-
weaponry.
Yeah.
It's just so. I wish I had. There's a part of me that wishes I had this like creativity. I would have never thought about something like this.
It's just
Maybe that's a
learning
good
to
thing,
turn
though.
your brain off and just
Go by instinct.
It's pure stream of consciousness.
Well,
it's just
in one sense,
100%.
there is that childlike thing of like, oh, I am like, hey, can you help me with this? Oh, I am helping you, and you're like, no, you're not, and then in the end, you realize, oh, this person did this and this.
Yeah.
Sometimes help comes in the most different ways.
sometimes it's people vomiting chickens.
Chickens.
All I could picture was just like he's vomiting the chickens from Zelda, the cuckoos, and they're now swarming.
You know, that is the mental image I had.
It is a very like kind of like you said, like storybook thing of like if a kid was writing a story, it's I went to the store and the store was filled with candy and then a dragon came out of the ceiling. Like it takes turns that make perfect sense to a kid in a kid brain.
But it still works because this is still follows a plot line, and this is a plot line that like that has been used before. It's the whole
Opposite day logic.
Well,
works
no.
to some
No,
degree.
It's
No,
still
no,
it's
but-
the whole detached from reality position, unreliable narrator.
No, but think of the outline. It's
Okay.
kind of like okay, let's think of it as a children's novel. Mommy, can you help me make a PB&J? Of course, honey. She gets me a plate. That doesn't help me, and as keeps saying,
Right.
Mommy, can you help me make me a PB&J? Of course. She grabs a knife. I don't still understand how that's going to help me. And then at the end, it's like, oh, the plate is there to put the sandwich on. The
Right.
knife is there to cut the bread. And then she brought over a friend. I don't know. It has that sort of like
And
it's
then, and then mom vomited chickens.
chickens. But it's that idea of like, So,
It does. It's a children's story.
Yeah, it has
Logic to
it has that sort of like, oh, this person help comes in sometimes in ways that you don't.
Unexpected ways.
Yes, it has
the
a
moral
message.
is-
It does have a
It's a
moral.
cautionary tale. Do not uncook people.
Yes.
And always have a friend named Hajoka on hand to help you out. I
Joker.
think I think the best part of the story is just Hajoka.
But like,
Joko is the true hero.
Yeah.
Hajoka is the hero we
He
deserve.
knew where this is going.
Went
This
in there
is his
clutch with that,
rodeo.
that shiv.
like I dismantled the shed. I'm like, why? And then it's like he used a weapon.
Guys, that's
from
a shed
dismantling
shiv.
the shed.
Shed
Could you
shit.
imagine like a world where nobody knew what time travel was, but they could time travel? And like that's what's happening here.
Hajoka has premonitions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hajoka can see the future, and the uncooking of it is just some form of time traveling.
Imagine having a friend like Hajoka who you know has premonitions, so you just like whenever Hajoka starts doing things, you just let them be. But then you have to explain that to other people. Of your buddy is dismantling your shed. It's okay. Don't worry. It's going to come in handy later.
Yeah.
You know, this man knows what he's doing.
And then you're all like out partying
The
and
force
walking
is
back
strong
to your car,
with
and you
him.
get jumped, and Hajoka just comes out and stabs the dude, and you're like, see? Told you.
Yeah.
Listen, the reason I brought Hajoka over here, he actually got a degree in uncooking humans.
A joke.
Like, he went to school for this.
So, uncooking humans. I still don't know exactly what that's a metaphor for, if it is at all. But
I don't think it is. I think it's just kind of has that moral.
is it? But like,
It's to me, what it sounds like, the impression I got, and I still hold, is that it's necromancy. Essentially, it's
could
taking
be
a dead
that.
person and bringing them back from the dead.
But he also mentioned like this was a psychotic criminal, and I almost feel like it's a metaphor for are they okay to come back into society?
I wonder.
That
But he
could be
didn't
me
know.
reading way too much
I
into
didn't
it.
know.
Absolutely, you
This
are.
is just a very big elaboration on that meme of why do they call it an oven when you oven the cold food, then out hot eat the food. Like just saying.
Oh my god.
Oh, man. Well,
The milkman's hiding in his hole.
I don't know. Like short story one just writes things in a way that I can't even.
You can't.
The mundanity as well.
I do like the
It's
response.
a psychotic mundanity.
Although the
It's
responses are great. Like someone says, like, "What was that?"
Oh, I didn't even look at the comments.
Yeah.
no, yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
man.
Dude, these stories are such, and I will say this again, short story one, your stories are such a boon to this podcast. I swear, we appreciate you and what you do. But I appreciate everybody who presents stuff. But let's
Oh,
see.
he actually. They actually responded like to things. Short
Variants.
story one.
Have you considered taking a step back and really evaluating yourself on your own writing? I've been commenting this forever, and I'm really getting tired of it. And short story replies with, "Keep going, man. Never stop telling me. You can do it, man. I believe it." You legend.
There's the thread. Hold on, the thread continues. I need to know what the response is. Oh.
The oracle returns. Praise thee.
Oh, this is other people. They're just.
Aw, dang it! I was
They're
really
in on
hoping
it, though.
that.
This is great.
I was really hoping whoever was. leaving
Nah,
that
it's
comment
just
was the next one.
But that was a great
Aw.
response.
Oh, I love it. I love that he's getting traction too, or they're getting traction like
They
on the
deserve
subreddit
this.
because people like there's still people who go like, "What the hell did I just read?" But there's enough people coming back. Going,
Oh, wait.
hell yes!
Yeah.
This is your best one yet.
Actually, what I love is that so Psionic Burst that was Psionic Burst, the person who left the first comment that responded, and they got they actually at the end said, will do. It was never. I was feeling manically off kilter the other day, and I have returned to my normal human senses.
I put back on my human face.
See now the people who follow them are becoming short story one characters.
Becoming disciples.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was telling David this earlier. Like, I love short story one's writing because you can, even with like great authors and great stories that we do on this show.
Yeah.
I can always kind of be like, you know what? There's a little bit of Lovecraft in there. There's a little bit of this in there. Short story one is an enigma and a style unto himself.
Yes.
Entirely.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
There is no one else this like unique and consistent in the online horror fiction world that I have yet to come across, and I just think it's amazing.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. It's a joy every time it comes up now.
Dude,
and
every time, I love it.
yeah, what a shot in the arm this has been, honestly. Well, freshness ratings for our 2 stories.
Oh gosh.
I would give both of them Hojoka as the modern day Giga Chad. Direct descendant of Dr. Livesey.
Joker is the true oracle. Praise thee.
I will give this a mouthful of uncooked chickens.
And then vomit up later.
Vomited up uncooked chickens.
Now I'm just.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how to. I will say how to uncook something kind of almost eclipsed the last story.
Yeah.
Don't get me
I
wrong.
would say.
Great.
I would say okay, a mouthful of uncooked chickens out of everyone in the village that I married on accident.
Everyone being married in the village, like, it started out stronger, but this one ended.
Yeah, this
one
ended strong.
Yeah, this had a good ending.
Yeah, it was great.
I give this one accidentally marrying Hajoka while he's vomiting chicken, stabbing a man to death.
Don't
And then you wake up.
the uncooked
You wake
oven.
up 15 years later and realize marrying Hojoka was the best decision.
Yeah.
It was the long
And now Hajoka saves your life all the time.
I would remake this guy's shed after we killed him. That's how I would help.
Absolutely.
That,
Would you think Hajoka is the one building sheds or dismantling sheds, and that's the manual labor for everyone in the village that they accidentally married?
Oh shit!
What if this is just one
Shared
of
universe lore?
What if this is just one of Hajoka's partners?
Maybe.
Married partners, spouses.
like, yeah, what if Hajoka is the guy who married everyone?
Oh my gosh.
I did labor for a certain
You can
number
say
of
that
people.
about any main character, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that point.
Well,
Yeah,
especially
That story was
especially
so
in his
abstract, you
stories.
could say it about anything.
Well, especially if this is the sequel, and we're just getting a glimpse of what happens when I accidentally cut myself on the pillar that contains the names of everyone in the world, even the animals.
We read one that was like, I only give haircuts to bald people.
Yeah.
That was great.
That was lovely, yeah.
All right, well, thank you all for listening to this very unusual and a little bit experimental episode, just in that we're trying to do this in a different environment, which is quite conducive. We have some nice...
Very comfortable.
Yeah, honestly, this is real cool.
Very moody. I like it.
Yeah.
Got some lights up right now.
Got some airplane noises.
Airplane.
Yeah.
Some
no
ASMR.
You
People
betcha.
still do that?
Yes.
ASMR?
Yes.
Yeah, surprisingly.
It's probably only increased in popularity.
Probably. I mean, do they do shorts of ASMR? Because that's the one way.
YouTube stories. Post that.
Just
Boom, done. Hey, that was someone's kink, all right?
Yeah, that's true. Hey, gang, my advice to you this week is broaden your attention spans and watch long form content and then promote it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we need to stop the. We need to stop the rise. Or not stop. We need to curb the rise of super mini micro nonsense that warps the algorithms.
Let TikTok stories be on TikTok.
Okay, that's
and let
TikTok.
YouTube.
But they upload them to YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
So,
it's gross.
You know, it's kind of weird how this trend. Oh, something's popular. We must try everything we can to emulate that thing. Maybe just don't do that.
Also, TikTok is an enormous place for thieves to just steal stories and upload them.
Yeah.
I found out.
It's all over the place
it's
too. There's
bad.
content theft.
It's like, and it's
everywhere.
TTS stuff too. It's not even like they read it. They just it's so sad.
Yeah.
to see.
Bark
Well,
at your dog.
Gosh, and I
Yeah.
gotta say, like the TikTok way that it works, where like you have less control to rewatch shit unless you rewatch the entire thing. You can only pause it. You have no choice on sound.
Yeah.
Only choice is on or off.
All right, well, Hajoka, get on that.
All right,
Yeah, hurry
Joker.
up.
And for you, we ask you, well, that's my free advice, but what I would also like you to do is, hey, if you like this show, why don't you follow us if you haven't done so already, whether it be in podcast form or YouTube form, preferably podcast form, but YouTube form is all right too. I won't judge. You can just find us under the Creative Horror Network and check out some of the other fantastic shows on the Creative Horror Network, such as The Witching Hour and The Jameson Tapes and Midnight Marinara and Darkly Lit and all the other cool stuff. Backlog episodes of Creepy Cooking Staff and Trick or Track are there too. They're good times. We do have a Patreon if you want to follow us and support us on Patreon. It's under patreon.com/midnightmarinara. We do prioritize stories that get sent to us on through Patreon from patrons, no matter at what patron level, to bump to the top. And usually we have dregs to share. We have a nice backlog of those as well. And if you just want to submit a story to us in general, you can email us at midnightmarinara@gmail.com, which is where we curate the stories from. Unless, of course, you are Abysmii, in which case I will grab whatever he sends to me right before we record.
Yeah, I get special privileges.
Yeah, well, we're all connected in the short story one appreciation circle.
Welcome to the Short Story 1 Appreciation Club.
The council.
The cult of Short Story 1. Praise thee.
Praise be.
All praise.
Oracle has returned.
I'm not a part of the cult, but I'm an appreciator, so.
Appreciator, creator.
We're all gonna make a blood pact over this story.
On a pillar.
And then we're all gonna
We're all gonna marry.
We're all getting
We're all gonna get married.
Yeah. Give money to our Patreon to support our wedding, our group wedding.
Good evening, intrepid listeners. This is the Pasta Shade, the host of Midnight Marinara, and this podcast is part of CreativeHorror.com, a network of podcasts and creators working together to build a constructive community of horror fans. For more content like this, visit us at CreativeHorror.com.